Okay, we're live. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Good
Happy
morning.
Friday.
Happy Friday.
TGI.
Woohoo.
Welcome to Forward Friday. We're here every Friday at 9:30 because we love you and we want to support and just love on people. How we move forward and navigate through life matters. So we
Mhm.
talk about leadership, mindset, life balance, career, spirituality, news, money, health, relationships, or whatever else. Today we have the amazing Jessica Chavez. She is in the Washington area. She's an interior designer and she has some tips for us. I'm so excited. But first, I'm going to introduce my co hosts. Am I echoing?
Nope.
Wonderful, Morrison. How are you
Good
today?
morning, everybody. Hello,
Woo!
hello.
What is your top of mind this morning?
Okay, so I am not a designer, and okay, I don't see empty spaces and go, oh man, I know what to do here, or even mix colors together. But I'm so fascinated by how, like, I love fashion, but not fashion in terms of like what you wear, but fashion in terms of how you blend color and different types of textures and how it actually looks good together, right? And my top of mind is that it's okay that I don't, because there's people like Jessica who exist who just like inspires me. Y'all, if you are not following her IG, do it right now because it will inspire you to be like, oh, that's what you would do with those flowers. That's what you would do with that vase. That's what you would do with the candlestick. Like, I just feel like it's okay not to be into that arena, and I just have somebody that does it a billion times better than me, and then just go with it because I think about that all the time. I always think, how come my stuff doesn't look that pretty or clean, or you know what I mean? Or together, maybe together is a better word, but
That's awesome.
so there
Yeah.
you have my top of mind.
And hello everyone, I'm Melissa Levine, and I was like, what's my top of mind? And now I know what it is. And that is like one thing that we always talk about in our business groups, right? Is okay, do what you are good at and hire other people to do what you're not good at.
Right, right.
So
Totally.
yeah, that's my top of mind. How about you, Danny Green? What do you have on the top of your beautiful mind today?
Sorry I missed. Yes, last week we had a contractor show up to discuss bathroom
And that's
things, and
okay.
I was like in my bathrobe still at 9:25. I'm like, it's not happening. I didn't know he was coming, so I literally threw my bathrobe in the dining room and stood there with somewhat clothes on and talked to the contractor. It was really awkward. So just note to your husband, if someone's coming at 9, don't just text me. Call me, alert me. Anyway, that's what happened last week. But you know what? I'm going to cry. This is the first time I put my love necklace on in a week because we've had a situation in our family that's been very difficult and I didn't feel very loving about it. Not with my natural children, of course. They're fine. So I was on vacation and I listened to a YouTube uh, person who is on YouTube, and I'm going to actually put the URL to this YouTube. This man's name is Christian Sundberg. I don't know the spelling, but click on it later. And he had a get this, guys, preconception when like he before he came to Earth, when his spirit self, his soul, decided to become a person, he asked for just a window so he could still kind of remember what it was like to not be here yet. I mean, hello. And so the spirit said, the being said, well, it's going to make your life kind of hard to know where you came from and then to be limited by what we're by being life on this planet. But anyway, and so then he said, in this video, you'll find out that it really is all about love.
Mm.
That's where we come from. And our expression of love in this lifetime is like the most important thing we can do. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm wearing red. It's February. I've got my heart. You've got your hearts. I talk about love all the time. And so in this situation that I'm facing, I'll just be as loving as I can, and it helped me to put my love necklace back on today. That's all I have to say. So catch it in the comments. I'm going to put this URL in here, and Christian Sandberg, he really does put in perspective what life is about here. The most loving that we can be. The most loving thing I did this last week was put up a pretty strong boundary about something I didn't like. And that's loving toward myself. So that's kind of, a new thing for me. All right. That's all. That's top of mind. It is all about love.
Always, always. Love never, ever is not a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
I just have to share something really quick about that, because I was in a little, what's Ashley's group? Wonderful. You're with Ashley's nonprofit.
Shine on
the board.
Imperfectly.
Imperfectly. Yes. Amazing nonprofit. And she did this little thing, and she said, write down all the people you love. And I was like, oh, wonderful. Danny, my husband, my kids, my grandma, like blah, blah. And then at the end, she's like, did you write yourself? I was like, no. Like, it was like so profound. It was like, I didn't even write it down. So anyway, I forgot to tell you guys, who's ever watching, go to streamyard.com/Facebook so we can see you and comment, because if you have questions, we have the amazing Jessica here with us today. Hopefully she'll give us some Instagram tips on how she does all those fun videos.
Yes.
On Instagram, I love it, but she's got some amazing info for us. But first, just tell us who you are and where you are in the world and what you're up to.
Okay, well, hey, everybody. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me. I am Jessica, and I started my business a year ago in December. And the way it all happened is, why would you start a business in COVID, right? But I can be crazy, I guess. But I always have people asking me about my home, if I can help them with their home, like send me links and are like, what do you think about this? And that's great. And I love helping people. But just like Melissa and I were talking before you ladies jumped on, is you have value. And I didn't think that was a valuable thing. I just thought, hey, I'm just answering someone's question. But one time I posted something on Facebook, and it just took the right person private messaging me and saying, Jessica, are you charging people for this? And I was like, no. And she's like, you should be. And I don't go advertising this, but I do like to be upfront, and I usually get the feedback from actual interior designers that they appreciate that. Is I didn't go to school for interior design, but in the state of Washington, you don't have to. I don't know about other states, but I think in general, the rule is you don't have to, because I like to title myself as an interior decorator. And there actually is a difference. A lot of people don't know that. Interior design is a lot of that schooling, knowing the science behind what goes into a room and how it's going to affect your mood. And while I do take those things into consideration, obviously, my passion is really about adorning the space, bringing out your personality, and making it look good. I've had people tell me that, there's parts of my house that should be in a magazine. So why can't everyone have that type of house? I have quite a few clients right now. Are they like multimillionaires? No. But that doesn't mean that someone just like you and me, middle class, can't have a nice home that could go in a magazine. That's a little bit about me.
You use marshmallows. Oh my God. You really use marshmallows on your fireplace? Like, what was that? You've got to clarify that if anyone saw it. I'm like, she's putting marshmallows on her fireplace.
No. So something you should know about me is I love humor. No, I do not put marshmallows
and I'm
on
gullible.
my fireplace, but the rock is so the shape of the rocks they just look like big marshmallows. And the river rock was, just plain when we moved in, and I said I want to paint that white. So I just, affectionately call it, my marshmallow fireplace. So
That's creativity right there, right? Like
Right.
creativity that you have is brilliant. And yes, I hope everyone calls her and pays her for her brilliance.
So, have you always had the eye for design? Like, even as a young person, did you look at rooms and spaces and different things? You know how, like, okay, have you guys gone to what's that home
Home goods?
store? Oh my, I get so lost in there because I want
see,
everything.
it's my heaven on earth.
Mine too. I could live there.
I want it to be my heaven. And none of it makes sense to me other than it's so pretty or it's so like, oh, I really love that. And so I'm curious, is that something that's always been a part of who you are, or was it something because you read up as a kid and you looked at magazines, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, I definitely, I always say that, like, I would be at my grandma's home and she just had beautiful style, and just being there, I knew what it felt like to be in a home that was pretty,
Mhm.
organized, designed well. Um, so I've taken from that. My mom was always, rearranging, things and styling. So I feel like it's just kind of in my blood. Um,
Mm.
and honestly, like I said, until it took the right person to be like, you could be doing this, professionally. I didn't know that it was, I don't know how to say this, but I guess I just thought it was a natural thing to be curious about those things.
Mm.
I didn't
Yeah.
really think about the fact that it doesn't come naturally to everyone, like you said. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think that's with any of our specialties. Like, I have to hire an accountant because I don't get the money part. That
Mhm.
just is like second nature to them. So it's surprising when you lovely ladies would ask me to come on here, because I'm like, oh, I just think that everyone knows that, but they don't.
I wish. That's so sweet of you to think that, though.
So yeah, so if you guys have any other questions, I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I have some tips that I prepared for you all.
We're
Yes.
ready.
Okay, so the whole idea is, having an office that is not only functional, but you want it to be aesthetically pleasing. And if this doesn't come natural to you, you might not realize like the importance of the aesthetics in your room. Now, I purposely am not sitting in an office because, well, we'll get to that at the end of my tips. Why Jessica Chavez is not sitting in an office right now. So, my first tip is color. Um, it's crazy the impact that color can have on your mood. And if you don't know where to start, that's a great place to start, is going down, getting some swatches, putting them on your wall, seeing what they look like, different lightings during the day, and what is your mood? How does your mood
Mm.
change or be affected by those colors? Now, wallpaper is really in right now. A lot of people are still surprised by that, but no, wallpaper, do not be afraid of it, especially bold prints. That can totally affect your mood. Um, I don't love painting, and quite honestly, my anytime I do, my husband right over my shoulder telling me I'm doing it wrong. I mean, I think there's more than one way to paint a wall, but that's just my sweet husband. But so it's not really the most enjoyable task, but I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. So color is my first tip. My second tip, and this is one thing that I'm super passionate about. And by the way, guys, I talk fast, so jump in if you have any questions. Um, anyway, I'm really passionate about the fact that you need to add your favorite things. My two P's: make it
Mm.
personal and have some personality. When I'm working with a client, it's super important for me to find out more about them, dig deeper. And I will admit that sometimes I'm a Facebook stalker. I'll go onto their Facebook and just learn a little bit about them and their interests. That way we can bring that out. And sometimes it's kind of fun to plan, like, they're really into boating, but they didn't mention that to me in their consultation. But I see their Facebook page and I'm like, they're really into boating. Why didn't they mention that? Then I will go and I'll purchase something and surprise them. So it's just really important that we bring out your personality. Does the heart mean you like that idea?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So that would be my second. You guys have any questions so far?
So when you say like color, okay, I love wallpaper, and but I'm really scared because can it be installed by a non-professional such as myself? Because it's like it comes in strips, right? So it's wallpaper just freaks me out.
Yeah. You're not alone. Anyone can do it. Depending on the print, it might be a good idea to hire a professional.
Yeah,
but here's the thing is peel and stick wallpaper is all the rage right now. It's not a commitment. You can slap it up there, and if you don't like it in 6 months, it's easy to come down. It doesn't have to be a big permanent adjustment. And knowing your personality, wonderful, wallpaper would be awesome for you because you're just such a bold, and I say loud, not in a bad way, just your presence.
I love it.
Yes, you're loud. Your presence is just known. So wallpaper for you would be a no-brainer. Absolutely.
What would you call it? The stick and what?
Peel and stick.
Peel
so it's
and
not,
stick.
It's not the glued. It's just the sticky, and it goes up, and still have to be careful about the texture of your wall. In the past, what I've done is just get, a thin plyboard and nail that to the wall. So a cheap way of creating that smoothness, getting that wallpaper up.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's such a fun, it doesn't have to be fun. It can be just really conservative and just a nice touch. But I like to think of wallpaper as, if I'm going to do wallpaper, I'm going to go for it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So my third tip is organization. And organization is not my best thing. That's not how my brain works. I'm chaotic. My files aren't always organized. I have them, next to my bed so I could just grab them. They're not in a filing cabinet. But if you are serious about having an office space, it is so beneficial to be organized, and not only for your mindset and just being productive, but it looks good too. Nobody wants to see a desk where there's just stuff, piled high. So organization is so important. And again, for your mood and your efficiency. Number 4, not necessarily out with the old and in with the new. We don't need to think like that. You don't have to make your office an amazing room. Now, would we all love to do that? Sure, but our budgets don't always allow for that. And with our office, sometimes that room is like the catch-all room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys find that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
you should see my floor.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, we have this old piece of furniture. We're not really ready to get rid of it yet, or we just don't have the time to do that. So we're just going to throw it in the office or throw in that extra space. And it becomes this buildup of, just chaoticness. And so that's obviously what we're talking about, is how to relieve that. But what I want to say is, as someone who, personally loves vintage things, you don't have to go out and keep up with, all the trends. Sometimes just adding, like we talked about, that color, but then bringing in some older pieces. Or if you have no money at all, the best way to change up your office is just rearrange furniture. It gives it a whole new look, and maybe adding a few accents. So I am passionate about using things you already have and then adding to emphasize the character of those pieces. Okay. And number 5, we keep talking about mood boosters. A huge mood booster is live plants or fresh flowers. Now that I'm older and I can afford to have fresh flowers more than just every once in a while, pretty much every time I go to the store now, I'm always picking up fresh flowers. So that's, a good habit to get in. Having fresh flowers there, having those live plants. Now, I kill every plant that I've ever purchased. So for a long time, I was like, faux plants, no way. But if you get some good quality ones that don't look like plastic or rubbery, definitely go for the faux plants because it will be a mood buster. That color green just makes us happy. Number 6 is a mirror. Did you guys know that a mirror can make your space just multiply in size? So that's a simple one. There's no really the explanation. There is no explanation. It speaks for itself. Okay, my last tip. This is a good one. Why am I sitting in my dining room? I don't work well in a confined space. I've tried it. I end up sitting in other places in my house. A lot of the times I just sit in my bed. Now, was I going to sit in my bed for this interview? No way. But a lot of the times, that's where you'll find me working on stuff. It's just our brains are all wired differently. Everybody is different. You can spend money on making an office space beautiful, but if that's not where you're going to be, it's a waste. So I'm giving you permission to say, I don't have to work in an office space. When COVID hit and all my kids were at home doing school, we wanted to make sure they had a little area that was about them. I got pictures and I put up things that spoke to them. We got 3 desks. Only one of them really stuck to his desk throughout the year, and half the time he was standing. The other my daughter, she went into her room. My son had to be sitting on the couch, and embarrassingly, he had to have the TV on. That's how our brains work, or our brains are different.
Yeah.
We just like talking about, the different things that we're good at, our skill sets. We're just different. We're wired differently. And if you don't need to be sitting at a desk, I give you permission to sit at the dining table. I give you permission to sit in your bed. If that's how you're going to get your work done, by all means.
That's so funny because Melissa, you should totally tell everybody where you're at.
I'm in my closet.
But as you can see, there's things behind you now. I can't see what those things say, but they're obviously inspiring things that make you happy, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Danny, you were saying something, but you were on mute.
Oh, it's the only place.
Okay, my twin sister just had a feng shui something lady come to her house, and that lady suggested 2 plants. So I messaged her to say, what are the names of the plants? One was a money plant, and the other one was something else. And I just thought it would be really interesting because you all talked about plants in your house.
Yeah, I'm a plant killer too, though. But this money plant has lasted for a while.
Yeah, and if you don't want to do faux plants, there's definitely plants out there that they don't take much love. They're just happy sitting in the corners. So
what are some of those? Because I kill plants too. I killed my husband's money plant before we met and got married. I moved in and I killed his money plant. He's forever mad at me.
Okay, so
which ones are good? Which ones are good?
The 2 plants are a snake plant and a money tree. Snake plant and money tree.
Yeah, I would definitely say the snake plant because, the look of it itself looks like it could just be in dry areas. It doesn't need a lot of love. And then
there.
I'm going to get one of those.
The plant that a lot of people have, it's on the top of my brain. And just because I'm on this podcast, I'm going to go blank.
I think I know the answer too, and I can't think of it, but It's got the little kind of round heart-shaped leaves. Yeah. We'll put it in the chat later when we think of it.
I'll Google it.
Yeah, because I can't think of it. My mother, she was I mean, we used to have half the house was a jungle. And
Yeah.
when she passed away, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Not one survived.
Yeah.
So we only have a few minutes left. Jessica, do you have anything else that you want to talk about in regards to interior design? Because I also want you to talk about your Bloss group too, because it's amazing.
Okay, well, we can jump to that. Anyway, long story short, if you want to get to know more about me, follow my Instagram. It's called Something Blue Farmhouse, and watch my stories. That's a little more of my personality. And then Something Blue Farmhouse is my own decorating in my home. Bloss Group. So as a new business owner, this last summer, I went on our local moms Facebook page and put out there, hey, if there's any other moms out there that own businesses, like I need friends, I need support, I need people. And I said, if I had people over to my home, yes, I had people over to my home during COVID. You don't need to leave no nasty comments, but I said, is there any interest? And there was. And I had Melissa and Wonderful there, and which they just blew me away with their inspiration. Melissa spoke. And the intention was not to do anything beyond that. I even said that night, like, we're not doing this again. Like, it was fun and I'm glad you guys all came, but like, this isn't really where I'm going. But I put some follow-up pictures of that event back on that Facebook page, and I had so many reactions and feedback saying, sorry, I'm getting a message and it just keeps on coming in. Please do this again. Please do this again. It's totally needed. And so I went from there, and now it's turning into a group, and we had, gosh, I think like 12 people at the first one. And now, we're having to put a cap on how many tickets we sell because there's so much interest. So I feel really, really proud of that.
Yes.
Yay.
So awesome. Well, it just like you made everybody feel so welcome, I mean, like
Thanks.
decked out, beautiful framed picture of the speaker.
Of you. Yeah, it was giant.
Wow.
I mean, you made each individual person feel so special. And I think that's, who doesn't want to feel special?
Yeah,
Well,
I feel
what
like
makes
that's
it.
oh, sorry.
That's your
No,
gift.
you
It's a
go ahead.
gift.
Well, I feel like what set it apart is, here's what I'm going to give you all as a picture in your mind. So one of my favorite things about being in France was only two things. The Versailles Palace and the Louvre. Anything after that is like, bleh. Okay, lovers of Paris, get over it. However, when you walk into the Palace of Versailles, it's very aesthetically like you are here and you are going to stay until I let you out. But it felt like you had to look at things. It was very visually appealing. Like you just kept wanting more curiosity. And I think that's what was different because it was posted as a networking event, but when you got there, it was so much more than that. There was things other than, oh, who am I going to talk to? I don't know half of these people. You had other things to look at and other things that piqued your interest that didn't make you feel like, because we're adults at that space where when you get into spaces with new people, you're trying to figure out how to communicate, how to reconnect to that when you were 10 and you just made friends so easily. So you made it easy to do that because there were other things to do than just be afraid. New people, how am I going to talk to them? There were things to touch and look at. And then it started conversations because it was so pretty. You're like, oh my gosh, you did such a good job. I didn't even know the person that brought me into the thing. Because Melissa couldn't find it. So anyways, that's, I think, what was different about it is because you, right at the beginning stage, it was an easy transition from I don't know anybody to, look at that vase, look at that setup, look at that. Oh, there's somebody here I know. So it made it very cohesively friendly.
Oh, well, I love hearing that. And that was the first event. So I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, but thank you. Cause that's a testament to me that, I mean, that's how I want my work to be, is personable, make it easy. It doesn't have to be, you know, a scary thing. Like the love.
Well, it worked out well. Oh, we can't hear you, Melissa. Are you on mute?
It's all about the love. Well, we are out of time, ladies. Thank you so much, Jessica, for joining us today.
Thank
Please
you.
check out her link in the chat. I also put the link in the chat for the recommendation from Danny. And wonderful. Do we have a guest next week?
So my month was January. I don't know what we're doing in February.
It's my month. It's my month.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's February. I keep forgetting it's February. Do we have?
Well,
you know,
I did write finding a guest on my to-do list, so I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, the link is here. You can click that link and sign up to be our guest next week if you're interested. But thank you for watching. We're here every Friday at 9:30, loving on each other. Happy Friday. Happy weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to rearrange my office now.
Awesome. Great.